Hey everyone, let's talk about resiliency from the framework of MAP, starting with M, which is meaning. Now, what does meaning have to do with being resilient? So when we talk about resiliency, it's really about how we respond to life, including the challenges and the hardships. In your own life, when you experience things that don't go your way, or things that cause pain or suffering, or cause fear, apprehension, how do you respond to these things? How well do you endure and persevere through these challenges? When you're drained or stressed or beaten down by life, how quickly do you recover? When you go about life pursuing your goals and encountering negative experiences, negative people, negative events, what does that cause to rise up in you emotional-wise? What does it cause to rise up in your thoughts and your mental space? These responses, how we experience and take action in life when faced with challenges and hardship, all of that is connected to resiliency. The reason it's important for us to look at meaning is because having a greater sense of meaning and being connected to meaning allows us to experience more hope, more purpose, and a greater confidence as we go through life. It does not mean we won't face hardship or challenges, but it means that we will respond and experience them differently when we're more resilient. And if we are more resilient, we are more poised to reach our goals and succeed. Now, a great person to look to when considering what it means to have a connection to meaning in our lives is Viktor Frankl. Now, Viktor Frankl, if you don't know him, is a psychiatrist, or was a psychiatrist. He passed away some years ago. But he lived through the holocaust. He actually, before he was put in internment camp, he was studying a thing he now calls logotherapy, which is the study of using meaning and centering meaning in our lives to heal ourselves. And he had a whole manuscript about it. He already did a lot of studies and research about it. But in the camps, he got a first-hand look at what it looks like in practice. Because in those camps, there were people who were deprived of everything they had. Their possessions, their roles in society, their family, their freedom, everything was taken. And what was given was suffering and hardship. These people were in a scenario where they're facing complete hardship, and there was no guaranteed hope for the future. Now, Viktor Frankl saw firsthand how some people in these circumstances, they'd be driven down and down and down until they gave up, to the point where they could be beaten or yelled at and they would not move from their bed, even with the fear of complete execution or death, because they had in totality given up on life. Whereas some people chose to live with more character, to persevere. Some people were able to hold on to a sense of hope, to still retain some agency in their life. And why it's important to look at what Viktor Frankl learned through his research and his experiences is because it can help us understand what is available to us beyond all circumstances. What is available to us beyond all resources. Because it is great to have resources and people and helpful, empowering circumstances that help us thrive and grow. But when these are taken away, if we were to lose these things, what is left to us? What is available to us? And I ask that question because if it is available to us when we have nothing, it is available to us now while we still retain our freedom, our possessions, our relationships. Because these people, Viktor Frankl, they had to rely on this. And if we could give him strength, help him persevere, it can help you overcome your obstacles, persevere in your challenges. Now let's actually talk about the details of Viktor Frankl research and talks about. So for these people who were outright giving up, who said that they have nothing more to expect from life, Viktor says that what they had to do was teach them to change the way they thought, to reframe their experiences and ask a different question to life. To not ask, what do I want from life? To not focus on what we expect from life, but to instead ask what life is asking of us. Because every single moment, every single day, there's a silent question being asked to us from life, a demand, a request for us to respond, to solve the problems at hand, to take action and make a decision. To not take action, that's still a decision. Now, why it's important is because when we frame our mindset to center more on what life is asking from us, rather than solely on what we are looking for in life, that opens up the possibilities. Because when we are self-centered and hold on to our limited expectations, when those are not met, that can be discouraging. But life is connected to all things and all people. And our purpose can expand to those things. What Viktor Frankl said was that, a big thing is family. They would tell some of the prisoners that they had someone waiting for them, maybe a child, a partner, in that they could not give up and leave them waiting. For others, it was more so about work. It was about having something they were called to create. Something that they knew or saw and could bring to life in the world for others to experience and see as well. Whether it's people or even things, looking to what we can offer and give to life puts us in a position where we have a greater sense of meaning through responsibility, through a sense of connection to things beyond ourselves, that go beyond our circumstance. We may suffer now and face hardship, but we do not know what gain or value we might be able to provide in the future to others. And in this mental frame, we move out of hopelessness, out of despair. We move to hope, we move to purpose, we move to meaning. Because no matter how much we suffer or are challenged, our life retains that meaning. And furthermore, now this is a circumstance where people had nothing and they were guaranteed suffering and they had to deal with that. Let's think more about in our daily life where, we have relationships, we have freedom, we have food, we have a lot of things available to us. What can a sense of meaning do for us? I'll give you some examples. So there's a quote from Nietzsche that those who have a why can bear almost any how. Now, I love this quote so much because it means a lot to me personally, my own personal life, my family's life as well too. Because as we go about our lives looking towards our goals, we can have a greater sense of purpose through having goals, okay? And as we pursue them, it's important to look at if we're making decisions based more on our why or based more on the circumstances. This is what I mean. If we're in a mindset of, I can't pursue that goal or dream, it costs too much money. I can't do that, this take too much time. I'm not fit for this kind of thing. If we look at circumstance and say, because of what it looks like currently, I cannot pursue this greater aspiration, we are going to be in a position of discouragement. We are foregoing agency, foregoing confidence and hope for greater things based on what we see presently. This in itself is a form of giving up to just the present moment. As an example, so my grandfather fought in a civil war in Sudan. Before South Sudan was created, there's just one country, just Sudan. Now, he volunteered to go fight. He worked as a financial clerk. He didn't know how to use a gun or to fight in a war. And he very well could have died. This conflict, when it ended, 3 million people had died. It was dangerous. He was able to risk his life, to leave his work, leave his family, leave what he knew, and face the threat of death, to face hardship in trenches, to face these things because he had a why. He went out and pursued this for freedom for his family and for his people. And he cared not about the circumstance. He cared not if he would even live to see the outcome, because he had a why he was pursuing. And same with my mother as well. During that conflict, she came to America and started a new life. She left behind her family, left behind what she knew, and pursued something greater, something she did not know, something that her circumstances had gave her no guarantee that would be possible. But when we live with a strong why, we can go beyond our circumstance. We can leave behind the past. We can go forward into uncertainty, go forward into risk, and succeed because we're holding towards an aspiration. This is a life of meaning. And in this kind of life, there's agency, there's purpose, there's confidence and a sense of hope. And it does not come down to your circumstance. It doesn't come down to what skills you have or resources or what you know or don't know. All these things can change. Everything can be gained and lost. So don't look to these things, but look to your why you do things. And when you have a why you are rooted in, it won't matter to you what challenges rise up because you are committed to what you're aspiring for. You will persevere. You will recover because you are tethered to your purpose.